Welcome to the Moontails Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Law from the channel Justice, and here I have with me my co-host, Azumi and Ken.
Hello, guys.
Yo,
Okay. Today's topic, if you can't read the title, is Berserk, the Golden Age. It's
My
the first.
favorite
I
manga.
don't even know how many volumes that is. Like maybe the first 21 volumes or so.
Griffith did nothing wrong.
Let's just let's just say until the eclipse. Like if you
Yeah,
wanna read
okay.
it, you'll know when
Until
the
the
eclipse
eclipse.
comes.
Until the eclipse. I just want to say Berserk is one of the most epic starts to a manga I've ever seen. The first panels are
He's
him
just trying
fucking
to.
a
He was trying
demon.
to get his.
No, he was
La
fucking a
La
demon.
La
just
just
trying to
said
get
it
his-
outright.
He was fucking a demon, and then he killed it while fucking it. Like, bro,
I want to know,
Well-
like, actually, that first panel, like, couldn't he just have killed it without doing all of that?
he
He
probably
probably
could have.
could.
But what's more badass, killing a demon or killing a demon by fucking
I mean,
For
you,
Casca.
it? What?
yeah, he cheated on Casca, bro. What the hell?
By that
It's
point,
okay.
Casca
She
was
won't
already
remember it.
like in a state where she wouldn't be with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so he doesn't have to be loyal to somebody who can't be with him.
Okay, let's not
We're
dwell too
arguing
much
the
on this.
morality.
Let's
fucking a
not
demon.
argue that.
Guys, is it moral to fuck a demon? Yes or no?
Okay. Majority of this podcast is going to be Ken talking because it is his favorite show. But I will say, because
Manga.
he's only
Favorite
in the
manga.
first favorite manga. I will say, like, because what I'm going to talk about is only in the first two chapters. I love Puck. He is my favorite
Same.
character.
I love Puck so much, man.
Like, think like I wouldn't love Berserk as much if Puck wasn't there.
Definitely.
Puck he is essential to the experience. I absolutely love him.
Yes. I
He's
mean, like,
deep.
Berserk is amazing, but after a while, you're gonna get depressed.
Yeah,
That's
that's
when
why
Puck
you
comes
need
in.
him.
That's
Yeah.
when Puck comes in.
Bro, I was uncomfortable though, like reading it. Like he has the body of like a 10-year-old boy, and he's just constantly naked.
Why do you have to, man? Like, why do you?
The whole
He's
show is
just an
literally
elf.
just naked people. Like
Why you
and
gotta
Yeah.
think about it like
every
that?
other chapter, there's some girl getting raped.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree. I don't know. I feel as much as I respect
You agree,
Miura.
Ken?
No. I
Yes, I agree with the raping of women.
no. What the fuck?
Ken's
No.
political opinion.
La, what is this Twitter? No. I agree that there's a lot of like naked people, and as
Yeah.
much as I respect Miura, I do think he had some kind of like something going on. I don't know, but like the amount of naked kids and people in
Yeah.
that show were concerning.
It was very uncomfortable to watch or read.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show. I've just read the manga.
I,
But
I don't know. I feel like the manga is a lot better because
As-
like
Azumi has seen both. The beginning of Berserk, like after the first two chapters are over, because I feel like the first two chapters of kind of like I don't know what it's called, and when you have like the ending of a prologue placed before the prologue, it's kind of
Yeah.
weird. But
I feel like it's a great choice though to have that. I feel like it's a
I
great
don't
choice.
know. Well,
In
I'm
my
conflicted.
opinion.
I'm conflicted.
Okay. Because you can start first, and then I'll like.
Okay, I'll just say why I like both.
Go
One,
ahead.
I think it was a good thing because it kind of gave you a little bit of an idea of what's to come, and instead of like starting a show where everything is like a standard anime where you're just building up things slowly, you get thrown right into the action and then taken back to where it's kind of a little bit more slow and you're just introducing to more people. Also,
Yeah.
the fact that there weren't people, I mean, there weren't anyone with him and he was alone was really weird considering what happens during the golden age, at least when you're first into it. You're wondering what happens to all these people. And but on the negative side, I felt like it kind of spoiled things and it made like the tension feel a bit lower because you were kind of like, oh yeah, Guts is gonna get to this point regardless. So I'm not ever really worried about his life or anything.
I don't know, like the
I
first.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Azumi. You go
Oh,
first.
I only started off with the anime first, so I didn't really like
Oh my
know
God,
that this
Azumi.
stuff was gonna happen. So that's why when it actually happened, like I was actually surprised.
So Azumi, compare the anime. Actually, no, Ken finish, then Azumi will compare the anime experience to the manga.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like the start of the manga, in my opinion, was really good because when you first go into the manga, like I absolutely hated Guts. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? You know that first chapter where he's like killing that one Duke. Remember that big Duke
Yeah,
guy? And
the one with the
his
daughter
little
and stuff.
daughter, yeah, his daughter is like crying and shit, and he's like, deal with it. And if you wanna come kill me, do it.
Oh,
So
that
you,
was
you
badass.
no, it definitely was badass, but it kind of gave you that perspective, like, why is this guy like this? Like, what did he do to get to this point? Like, what happened for him to get to this point? And that's what I really liked about that because you get this picture of a dude with a giant sword that looks like a big slab of iron, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? And you get like a whole chapter of him being absolutely barbaric, and you kind of wonder where that came from. And then you get the whole golden age arc where you get like an explanation of what happened. You get to see another side of Guts, like where he was
Mhm.
actually a nice person. And then you realize the progression from where he went to where he is now, which I really like. I don't think it was much of a spoiler because I think that setting the Guts' character as this like very pessimistic guy who only realistically cares about his goals. Like for example, when he was in the carriage was with the old guy and the girl, he could have easily walked it. Like it's not that difficult for him, but he chose the easier option, which is to ride with them.
Even though
And
he's putting them in danger because of his curse.
yeah, and because like he already told them, like if you choose to have me, it is very dangerous, and they didn't care.
But he knows better than them. Like you can't give a child the gun and say, this is dangerous, but if you want to hold it, you can hold it.
No, no, of course, I agree with you. I don't think what he did was right. I just think I personally was like, what the fuck happened for this dude to be like this? That's what I really liked about it. And like, Guts isn't a perfect character. Like, he is very obviously self-motivated. He would kill a lot, like, he would sacrifice a lot of people to save Casca, for example, which I really liked. So
Yeah.
I like that they set the realistic standard that he is a flawed character. He's not the perfect protagonist. They still managed to pull it off in a way that makes me sympathize with my boy here.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah. I
you
understand
can
that.
go ahead.
Love him. Uh
Yes.
yeah, I only read the manga and so did you, but I'm really curious about the anime and how it was in comparison to the manga. Zumi, what's your thoughts on that?
Personally, I enjoyed the anime version better. Not in terms of graphic, because obviously the manga is like incomparable to anything I've ever seen in terms of art. But because I kind of like started off with Guts' development throughout the series instead of, oh, this is where he is now, and now let's look back on like why he became this way. Instead, we're automatically introduced to like his childhood and like the only person that like ever cared for him letting him get raped, and finding out his trauma like first seat, and we kind of just get to see where he is, and it just feels like it's more of a mystery to where it leads on to like this magical fantasy type of turn, I guess, because I really didn't like expect it to be that way until like the last episode,
Whew.
which was, where everything went down. So, yeah.
Every
You
Berserk fan.
you said a lot of loaded things there. Oh my
What?
god. No, just it reminded me of the scene of when he was a kid.
Ah,
His childhood
Yeah.
is fucked.
It was a
it
messed
really
up
is.
thing, but I enjoyed like actually being able to see Guts as a child
Okay.
and starting off that
Okay.
way
Okay.
because no, not in that way. I'm saying starting off that way in his development because while it is sad, you understand why he's such a brat in the beginning.
Wait, do you mean like in the prologue or where?
No, like when he meets the band of the Hawk and everything, like he's just randomly like killing people
Ah,
for
you
like
mean
food or
like a
money.
small
Like
brat? You mean?
yeah, he's kind of a brat to everyone and
Ah, okay.
rude regardless of whether everyone's helping him or not because he doesn't trust anyone.
I don't really know if
Okay.
I'm
you'd
like,
call
oh,
it a
okay, I
brat.
understand where this development is coming from and why he's the way he is, and why now that he actually has people that he can trust, he's slowly becoming a little more like less heartless and more vulnerable towards them, especially like Casca later on.
Doesn't that make it feel way worse at the end?
It makes it feel way worse at the end, but obviously, like, I feel like I understand him more if I'm able to see him in that light.
Yeah. You
Like
mentioned the
he's
art.
he's not
Mm-hmm.
like you don't see him as like this messed up person. You see him as a victim.
Mm, I don't know. I somewhat disagree there. I feel like one of the beauties that are in Berserk that I'm starting to see in other anime is that the victim or the villain can also be the victim, but it doesn't really justify his actions. Like he's
Yeah,
not
it doesn't always
100% a
justify
victim
everything, of course.
and he's not 100% a villain. Like he does shitty stuff to other people. And
Hmm.
depending on which like point of view, he could be the villain in the story or he could be the victim.
Oh yeah, that is actually like a big selling point of the story because at the start with that little girl, he killed her father, and he was now the villain to her, even though he was doing the right thing technically. So that is a
The right
big
thing for who? Like which point
because
of view?
what do you everyone the Apostle Duke was literally like murdering people left and right. He
Okay.
was
Okay. But in his story, not in her story.
no, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like Guts did the right thing by killing the Duke because he was a monster leading
Yeah.
human people. What do you mean? It's literally a dude, literally a guy killing people. What do you want more than that?
I don't know.
He's like, dude, killing
Eh,
people.
I don't
I don't
care
know.
enough about people.
I genuinely don't. But anyway, anyways, I think I think that's one of the greatest things. And seeing it in other anime, I'm like it makes me happy. Like an example is Attack on Titan, where the villains you see for the whole series and you think, oh my god, they're terrible people, but really they're just victims in their own story. And I think I shouldn't make it all about Attack on Titan. I have too many opinions on it and on its fans. Let's talk about Berserk and why the art style is probably the best ever.
Yeah, I'm
I
honestly
think
though,
that
I love the Berserk art style, but actually no, it is the best art I've seen. I should stop capping, but
What were you gonna say?
no, I was just gonna say like
he was gonna compare it to My Hero, weren't you?
no.
Of course. Like I remember you talking about the other day saying like Deku's like manga art is better than anything Guts has ever been drawn into.
What the fuck? I've never said that in my
No,
goddamn
you
life.
showed us it within like his upgraded
I've
ability and
never said I've never said it was better
nah,
than anything Guts.
nah,
What the
nah,
fuck are you on about, bro?
nah.
What the fuck are you on about?
I remember you also said the same thing about like this Baku Deku ship or fan art. You said that
Uh-huh.
was better.
Okay, yeah, Law, I said that. I stick by my opinion, but Miura's arc is incredible. Like I feel like that's one of the strongest selling points. Because like as much as I'd like to preach the idea of like the story is better than the art style. Berserk's art style is just very amazing. It's so detailed. It's so fleshed out. It really just
I
immerses.
especially.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
It's okay. I was just gonna say like it's one of the main things that really gripped me into the story because like when you ask someone who's recently started Berserk, they're always like, "Wow, this story, it grips you in its world very quickly." And that's all, in my opinion, that's all thanks to the incredible art that Miura's put so much effort into. Because
I,
it's not just pretty. No, I know the story is good, law. I'm just saying, like, it's not just
no,
pretty.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I was just
Oh,
gonna
okay.
add a point where like I love the art. I think it's, as far as manga goes, one of the best ever. But I feel like that's not just from Berserk though, from all manga, that kind of don't benefit from the fact that the fight scenes just aren't as good. The manga fight scenes, they're he is drawn very well, but in the end, like everything is like just him spinning in circles with a sword.
Okay, that's still very, very well drawn. What
No,
do you
it's
what do you
very well
mean?
drawn, but I'm saying like there
Uh-huh.
there isn't, like, let's say, as much strategy in fights compared to something like, let's say, Hunter x Hunter or Code Geass, or what else is there that you have seen? Naruto. Naruto is just show that, actually, no, you haven't seen
Yeah.
Naruto. Naruto does have quite a lot of like strategic fighting, but yeah, I would say that's my only like criticism of it, if that's a criticism, just that I didn't enjoy the lack of complexity in the fight scenes for a show that has so much action. And just to
Mm.
be clear, for anyone who decides to listen, this I've only seen about 26 or 27 volumes, which is barely after the eclipse. So I don't know anything further into the future, but from what I've seen, like the fights were fairly simplistic.
I mean, yeah, they are simplistic, but I feel that's what's very charming about Berserk because it's a story about guts and only guts. It's not really about anyone else. And Miura does a great job of just fixating on that. I think that's a very strong point of the manga, that it doesn't really deter you so much uh, from the main event, because a lot, like I get your point, but I don't know if this is just personal taste, but I enjoy it when a series focuses on what I want to see personally. I don't want to see, like for example, when Guts is fighting, I don't want to see someone else like fighting someone else. I don't care. I just want to see Guts being badass. And
No,
the manga does a
it
great job of just letting me enjoy that.
doesn't he doesn't have to not be badass. It would just any any further, um what should I say? Anything more than just him spinning around and then occasionally throwing, like using his arm as a cannon. Anything other than that,
I
I
mean, he
feel like,
does get like in the future, he does get more things, but the main point of the story in earlier chapters is not the complexity of the fights. It's just Guts being
no, I'm not saying that's main focus. I
an
still
overpowered.
love it,
Yeah.
but I still love it, but I'm saying that would be my only criticism.
I mean that is fair. I just feel like I like maybe this is just personal taste, but
It is. It is.
I like that.
It
I
is.
enjoy that it doesn't go too complicated into the fight scenes, and it just lets me experience how Guts' life is, because that's how like the whole premise is that Guts is very strong, but he is also he still finds other things that trouble him in his life, and I don't know. I
Mhm.
just really enjoy that aspect of things. I don't want to deter from that. I don't want any more complexity than needs to be. I feel like
Okay.
they do a really good job of like keeping down to the essentials that will keep me entertained, but at the same time, it's not just like an array of like 50 characters doing things
No, it doesn't
alongside.
have to be
Because
50 characters doing things. We don't need to drag this on. Anything, yeah, we don't need to drag this on. No, we just have a different opinion on it. Let's talk
okay,
about
that
the
seems
side
fair.
characters. Let's talk about the side
Berserk
characters.
Berserk has some great side characters. I just I'm gonna be a normie here and say that Guts is my favorite character, and then Puck.
Puck is my favorite, easily.
I
Easily.
just yeah. What about you, Azumi? Who's your favorite character that is not after the eclipse?
Um, it's not after the eclipse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember when I first watched it, like Griffith was my favorite.
Ooh,
Okay, that's pretty nice.
controversial.
Then after it was Cherokee or whatever her name was.
Turkey. Yeah.
I can never pronounce it well.
You know, whenever like I see her name when I'm reading the manga, I just remember Caesar from One Piece laughing.
Shoot. No,
You
no,
know,
no, 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 no.
yeah, that's basically what I call her in my head.
One
Okay,
thing
love.
about the art though,
Yeah, go
there
ahead,
was
Azumi.
like I was always fascinated with the night sky. Like the way he
Ooh,
drew the
Ah,
night sky, like it would take over the panels. Your main
yeah.
focus
yeah,
was never the characters, your main focus was the night sky.
I
yeah.
I also love
It
how
just
he
felt like
drew.
you were like genuinely watching the sky, like
Mm,
you were in the panel.
yeah, not just the sky.
And
Well, the sky was a great point, but I also just in general his environment and backgrounds were on point. Like
They
him just
are
drawing
incredible.
trees was like it's just stunning. Like it feels like he just walked in front of a tree and just tried to sketch it. Doesn't feel like something he just drew for fun. He probably did do that, but
I get what you mean, because like usually when there's any like for example take children's cartoons, they try to simplify things a
yeah,
lot. They simplify things to the like bare minimum for the
yeah,
kid
it's
to understand that this is a tree
not
because
just
they don't.
for the it's for time and the fact that he
Yeah,
put so much effort into like one panel just makes you admire his work more.
yeah. I was just
yeah,
gonna point that this aspect of his art makes the atmosphere a lot more realistic, if that makes sense. Because you don't like while reading Berserk, you forget that it is a manga that is like fictional. You see the trees, you see the environments, and this does genuinely look like something you would see, and that is incredible. Like you said, you mentioned the tree.
Yeah,
You said how detailed it was, how he could have literally just walked in front of a tree and tried to sketch it down to the roots, down to the
yeah,
details, down to the how the bark is like uh
the
scratched at
patterns in the bark.
yeah, the patterns in the bark. It's all very like incredible. I
Yeah,
love his art, man.
love it too. He's one of the
You,
greatest for a reason.
uh, we were talking about favorite characters, and I was curious to why Azumi likes Griffith because I also like Griffith. He's a very interesting character. He's also very well written. I don't think he probably is a contender for like best villain and all of that. But I just think that the
Mhm.
premise of his character is very, very interesting. And I wanted to know Azumi's point of view on why she chose to choose him as her favorite character. So, what do you think, Azumi?
um, I guess I kind of just enjoyed like the fact that he would do anything for his crew up until you know how everything went down, but like he literally slept with an old man so that his crew would like have food and
The band
materials
of the
wouldn't fail.
Hawks.
He made sure that they rose along with him, but as the story goes on, I realized it wasn't really that way, that he was more of a selfish person. He only really cared about what he could do. But at the same
Actually,
time, he like wanted everyone to kind of live for him. Like I noticed it like after a while, like he wanted people to be beside him. He didn't want them to like have their own things going on. Like he wanted to be the center for them.
That's valid.
Yeah, I mean, like adding on to what you're saying, because you were bringing up a really good point. I think that like Griffith, he makes it very clear that he
Mhm.
is just using these people. He doesn't like he makes it clear that they're not actually of any sentimental value to him. However, he does take like he makes sure to this is gonna sound messed up, but Griffith is messed up, but he makes sure to use them to their full potential without wasting anyone because like as to pay respects to them in a way. Like for example, that one time
Yeah.
he saw that a kid died in a I don't remember if it was a battle, but a kid died on the battlefield, and he like uh made him a burial for him, and he put a toy on his grave. Like he probably didn't care at all about the child. He just wanted to make sure that his life didn't go away in vain because he kind of respected them in a way. It's like when you eat, you don't really care about your
I
food that
don't
you're
feel he
eating.
respected them.
No,
Like I
he
think he
definitely did.
said
Like
something near the point of like he can't respect someone that does not have like a dream as
it's
big as
not
he does or something along the
it's
lines of that.
not mutual respect. Like he wouldn't respect them for who they are. I'm just saying like for example, when you're eating, you don't feel anything towards the food you're eating, but you don't want to
Mhm.
waste it. You don't want to drop it on the floor just to pay respect to the animal that died so that you can eat it. So I feel
Mhm.
like that's how Griffith kind of thinks of these people
Wait, how do you know how Griffith thinks?
because I've read the manga. What do you mean?
I've read the
Sounding,
manga.
you're explaining it a little too well.
Wow. Don't you
Ah,
know that
damn.
one scene where like in the eclipse, like you literally go through Griffith's backstory?
Nah, but his this analogy is a little too
It's a,
specific.
a little too accurate.
Yeah, it's making a little
A
too
little
much
too
sense.
close to home.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
did you come up with that? You came up with it on the spot too. Like,
I've just
wow.
I've put a lot I've thought a lot about Berserk a lot, and I really kind of understand how like he thinks. Not because like I'm elite, I understand the thematic complexity of Berserk. No, because I've just
Oh,
learned how
because
to
you
pick.
relate to him a lot. I understand.
Yes, and also because like when you are a fan of like a series so much, you kind of start to pick up on little cues that wouldn't matter otherwise. Like for example, when he slept. I mean, this is not really a small cue. This is a big ass cue. But when he slept with the old man, he didn't do it because he loved his men. He did it because he didn't want to waste them. He wanted to
Yeah.
go to war the next time because he could skip this one and save lives.
Like
Uh,
one thing I didn't like about him, although it's not a character flaw, it's just something that I didn't like personally, was that he had a very weird type of pride where he didn't care about what he needed to do as long as he achieved his goal, and his goal was the ultimate pride and having people who to step on to achieve it is his pride. But whereas like I don't know, I usually find myself connecting with characters who have like a more stoic sense of pride, like Thor's from Vinland Saga or Whitebeard from One Piece, who have this this ego, this pride. They think highly of themselves. Like Whitebeard saying, "I don't need any help because I'm Whitebeard." That's the pride that I love, not
I
the
have
pride of I'm gonna sleep with this old dude.
I have something to add on to that. I think it's because Griffith, like, there's a difference between being a proud person for what you did and being a proud person because you are, which is what Griffith thinks. So Griffith thinks he is basically stuck in this bubble of like thinking of himself as this divine being before even before the eclipse. He's always had that mentality, and he
Yeah.
would never equate himself to other people. Not because he's great, not because he's accomplished anything, but because he is Griffith. So even if he slept with an old man to get money, he still thinks he's better than all of these people. And another thing that matters a lot to him is exterior appearance. He wouldn't give a shit if he did a lot of like self-degrading things behind the back. But he what he would care about is how his band of the Hawk looked in the eyes of people. Like, the band of the Hawk, they like had great resources and they absolutely demolished these people in battle. He would care more about that than his actual pride, like
because
his
that
actual.
gets him his castle.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like he thinks that no matter what he does, he is still Griffith and he is still above everyone. Uh, so I
Yeah.
think that's what you are
Yeah, that's
criticizing.
okay.
I,
That's one thing. Pride,
yeah,
he has pride without shame, which I'm not really the biggest fan of.
yeah. No, no, like I understand your point. Like I don't like that about him either. He's not a good person for having that. I'm just saying, I'm just saying it's good writing. Like even
Oh
that
yeah,
has an
it is good writing. He is a really excellently written character. Like, for example, Hisoka. Hisoka's a terrible person, but he's a great character.
Is he?
Yeah, I bought a Hisoka t-shirt the other day. It's hot pink. This is it's not gonna
Oh
look
God,
good.
Law, what do you
it's
do?
gonna look great. What are you talking about?
Oh, I need to actually learn how to customize the fit though. I need to actually get a proper fit with it. It's
Next
just
time on the
all
podcast, we're
white.
gonna have
All
we're
white
gonna talk
should be
about
good,
how
right?
Law. Yep,
Like
we should talk
white
about how
pants.
you should customize your Hisoka cosplay.
Oh, we should. No, it's not a cosplay. It's just like customize the fit.
Well, now
Wear
it
like
is,
some
bro.
white
Now it
Yeah,
is.
white Air
it's
Forces.
not a cosplay.
Bro, I need to. Some whoever's
White
yeah.
goes
Never
with
mind.
pink very well. So white pants
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. White pants, white
and
shoes, and
maybe
like
pink shoes.
pink
What?
shoes. I don't know. I don't really have pink
Why?
shoes.
You gotta keep it like matched. Like you know how like some things go let's say blue and black. Blue, black, what goes next? Blue. Like you don't have two colors together.
No, but I kind of like just having like an accent kind of thing where like I'm mostly black, but let's say this
Guys, this is
like
a
part of my
thing
thing
about
is red.
Berserk.
Okay, if you're
Like the
gonna
shirt
wear
is just
white
this.
shoes, then at
Yeah,
least wear like a pink hat or something.
a pink hat. Okay, but then that's or it obviously would be best like the way you said it, where it's like white hat, pink shirt, white. I mean, white pants and then pink shoes. But I'm
Yeah,
not buying pink shoes for
why not?
Hisoka's shirt.
Because Law is a manly man. He doesn't buy
No,
pink
because I'm
shoes,
not
do
gonna
me.
waste something that I'm gonna only wear one fit with.
Okay. Pink goes with a lot of things.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Let's talk about Berserk.
Pink goes with white. It goes with blue.
It goes with
Oh my
blue,
god, it goes
really?
with yellow. Of
I didn't
course it
know
goes
that.
with blue. Baby blue.
I don't have anything baby blue either. Damn.
Damn. We're gonna
So I think
upgrade your
just pink and
wardrobe.
white
Okay.
are the only thing I'm gonna be able to do. Does
Yee.
pink go with
Hey
black at all? Because I have
guys,
a lot of black.
do you remember Berserk?
Yeah,
It goes with black?
yeah.
Okay,
Black goes with everything.
okay, then I'm gonna wear pink and black. Let's go. Black Air
Yee.
Forces, black pants, and a black hat. Let's go. Anyways, so Griffith or Hisoka?
Are you
Um.
asking who is a better
Oh
character?
wait. Yeah, you
Take it
genuinely asking?
whatever. Taking whatever.
Definitely Griffith.
Damn. I don't know. I'd rather
Man,
smash Hisoka.
Hisoka, bro, I'm
What?
not
We're not doing smash or
not saying
Oh,
pass.
smash.
what? Okay, okay.
What did you think this was?
Come on, Law, get your shit together. What the hell, man?
All right, let's talk about Griffith. Let's talk about
Okay, Law,
Griffith.
did you like Griffith?
I didn't see enough of him, to be honest. I've only seen
Okay, what are
26
your
chapters. He's very selfish. He looks like he has, but he's also like Azumi called Guts a brat when he was just a traumatized kid. I don't think he was a brat. I think he more
Ah,
classified as like a rebel or somebody who was just an outcast. That's what he was more. Griffith is a brat. Griffith is a
He
No,
usually
complete
he
lashed
brat.
out a
definitely
lot
is.
as a kid.
Definitely is.
He definitely is. He's a man child. But like with guts, I didn't mean it as like something bad
No,
because
but
he only did it as a child. Like he was
no,
literally like
but I
angry.
don't
He
think he
would
did
get angry
anything.
out of nowhere and he would be upset really easily. But it wasn't like a it was normal for him because he was a kid and he slowly grew out of it. But like Griffith never did. He's
Yeah,
literally a
Yeah,
man
Griffith.
child.
after his literal dad sold him, yeah, I would
That
think he
that
would
wasn't
grow out of
a
it.
that wasn't to disrespect Guts because I
No,
feel
no,
like
I'm
it was
not. I'm
normal
not
for his
saying.
age.
I'm not saying you're disrespecting him.
But for Griffith, uh, oh my God.
No, I wasn't
Can you
trying to
take the lead
say.
on Griffith?
I wasn't trying to
What?
say you're disrespecting him. You guys asked me, or I think Ken asked me how I felt about Griffith, and I was saying I think he's far more fitting of being called a brat because of the way he's acted.
Yeah.
He's completely selfish and he wants to use people, but he isn't smart enough to think like to say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna pretend like I care about those people." He's openly saying, like, remember that scene where in the manga, Guts is at the bottom of the stairs and he hears Griffith
Oh,
talking
he's talking
to the
with the
princess,
princess.
and he's like, "Yeah, none of them are my equals. They're
I
all
hated
below
that
me."
scene.
I didn't like it either, but I think it was very necessary, and I loved it at the
I
It
end.
feel
crushed my heart. I
I
felt
feel
I felt his pain. I felt Guts' pain right there.
I felt
I
that
feel
just
like
made Griffith seem
y-
like an idiot. Like
you
he
guys you guys are forgetting that like Griffith has literally never failed in his life. His whole life. He's never failed.
no, we're
Of
not
course
even
he's gonna
talking
be a
about
brat.
no. Oh yeah,
No,
of course
no.
he's gonna be a brat for
Like
that, but
he has
he
no
has to be smarter than
sense of
that.
consequence. It's not about being smart. Like he's thought his whole life. He's been
So
fighting. Like he's a horrible person, but he's always been fighting this moral dilemma of like, am I like, is this okay? Like we see this in the as the eclipse happens in his memory. He's like, oh my God, I'm building on dead people. But at the same time, he tries to cope with that by telling them, "Oh, I'm just doing my dream, and you guys are all following me. Oh, we're actually not equal." Like he feeds them, or he feeds off that to kind of sustain his mental stability because he has killed a lot of people,
I know,
and they kind of support that because they're always like, "Oh my God, look, it's Griffith! Holy shit!" So ha- he at that point he never considered like if he actually he basically took it for granted. Like he saw like I don't think he didn't see guts there. He just or I mean not I mean I don't know if he didn't see guts or no. I just thought I don't think he it didn't cross his mind that someone could be watching or if this could be dangerous info. He just didn't care because who the hell in the band of the hog beside Guts actually
I
wants to
know.
be equal to Griffith? None of them
Okay,
do.
okay, I understand that. I was just saying that's my opinion on it. You guys asked me my opinion on it. I'm trying to just say my
Damn.
opinion.
You have an
You were
you have
right.
an opinion, Law? What the fuck?
He's just,
That was
but I
rhetorical.
did like a rhetorical question. Rhetorical question. What's your opinion on Griffin?
What's your opinion on Griffith? He's amazing because you can't say anything else.
No, but I think like I hope he gets into being better because from what I've seen, he's a well written character, but at this point, I don't think he's deserving of being like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Because for me, what I look for in like a villain or just any character, and is that like if I was in that position dealing with such and such trauma, would I become that person or could I see someone else becoming that person? Which is why I think Guts is probably the best written main character. Well, him and Luffy are up there and Gon,
I
but
think I think Guts
Guts is
definitely is.
probably Guts and Luffy top two, and then
Yeah,
Gon third.
yeah.
But anyways, that's why I think Guts is amazing because after all the shit that he's been through, I would have been way worse off than he would ever been. so
Yeah.
So I think he's a realistic character. Whereas I never could feel that with Griffith. Like Griffith just seemed like he was doing illogical things for whatever this and that. Like you said, he cares about external pride more than internal pride, and just things that I don't know. I couldn't see myself caring about, and I don't. Okay, it's a personal thing. Obviously, it's a very
What
personal thing.
about that seat or that panel when he uh like when they were trying to take over the kingdom and uh he's like they wanted to like take him down or something, the queen, and he just burned her castle down, and then he fucking stared at the duke and scared the shit out of him. You didn't think that was good?
That was cool, but it was because the Duke was fucked up. He was the one like doing stuff to his daughter, right?
No, no, he wasn't doing anything to his daughter.
Which
He
one was
just
the one
wanted
who
his
was doing stuff to
daughter
his
back.
daughter?
That's the king. He was fucking
Ah,
his daughter.
oh yeah.
I
The
mean, he
king was
wasn't
fucked.
really, but
The
yeah,
king was
the king
fucked.
is definitely fucked. I'm just saying, like,
Berserk is fucked.
I mean, I don't know if like this is disappointing, but I don't think like Griffith gets any like I don't think he gets any more than that. Like after the
He doesn't
eclipse,
get
he
any
just
more development.
I honestly I don't know. I haven't read all of it. He might have gotten a lot of development, but after the eclipse, it mainly kind of focuses on Guts for a long while
No, no,
before it comes back to Griffith.
I've seen a little bit of Griffith after the
Hmm.
eclipse,
Wait,
but
is the
Maybe
manga still going?
what
I
do
think
you
there's
mean?
no. I
Even
think
though
actually
Miura, even
there's
though
one
Miura is
chapter.
dead, like did his team take over?
There's one chapter left. He didn't tell them the story.
There's one
Only
chapter?
Oda did that. Yeah.
Damn,
I
sucks.
think yeah,
Damn.
he didn't tell them anything. He just like it's not gonna be continued. I think it's only going to be one last chapter by his team to like conclude everything. I'm not sure. I haven't looked in much into it, but that's kind of what I heard.
Wow,
Damn.
Griffith. Let's just wrap it up. Our final thoughts on Griffith. He's a good character, great
Damn, we didn't
character,
even talk
possibly.
about Casca.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Casca soon. I'm just want to move away from Griffith for now because I feel like we spent a
Oh,
substantial amount of time on him. I'll just give my
mm.
final opinions. He was a great character. Um, I can't say like I can't say like he's my favorite villain. I could be thinking too critically about it because like if you put a list in front of me, there's probably he's better than quite a lot. But off the top of my head, I wouldn't say he's a better villain to me than let's say Meruem or Dofi or even Katakuri. Further, who else is there that we could say?
Blackbeard.
Johan. Blackbeard, I can't say anything on, but I would say Johan is better to me than Griffith.
I
I,
agree
I
there.
like I like Griffith more than Johan.
I
Yeah,
I
like
I
felt
would
like
Johan.
too.
He was thick. Oh my god.
wow, we're just talking about personality, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just think I feel like Griffith was more fleshed out than I mean Johan was ever. I
John
almost said
Liebert.
I almost no, I almost said Jean Library, but moving on.
Bro, Johan was fucked in the head, but I feel like he went through way worse, and his actions are somewhat like you can reason it, whereas Griffith never stopped feeling like a spoiled child.
I agree with you on that. Like he definitely is a big man child.
That's why I just didn't love him as much as like I did other characters.
He is very malicious though. Like he is smart. Like he's not down to the
He's
ground stupid.
smart, but his identity is all built off of just like I don't mind a god complex. I think a well god complex can make like one of the best characters, but his is just like so baseless. He doesn't even have anything beside like he just and it's not even in an intelligent way. It's like he's very successful, so he doesn't fear consequences. And the moment that a consequence happens, he literally throws everything into the fire. Like he ruins everything for the entire band of the Hawk. The moment that I'm talking about is when Griffith challenges Guts to a fight because Guts wants to leave. Guts just humiliates him because Guts is way stronger. And what's his name? Griffith like pouts about it, goes to the princess, smashes her, and ruins his entire like all his army were gonna become nobles, I believe, because
Yeah, they
his
were.
connection with the king. But since the king didn't take kindly to the fact that Griffith slept with his daughter.
But since the king was literally a rapist, that wasn't too good in his book.
The king was fucked
I
up. Apparently, him like molesting his
don't like that
daughter
guy.
isn't in the anime.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
You guys like that
Really?
guy? I don't like that
Really?
guy.
You're not
I don't know.
surprised
He's a
by
little
the
sketchy
fact
to me.
you're not surprised by the fact that this dude molesting his daughter wasn't animated? What?
It wasn't animated, no.
What's so not
But I
surprising
didn't like
about
that guy.
that?
I didn't like that guy, guys. He was a
No,
little too sketchy.
no one liked it.
Azumi literally raped his daughter. What do you mean he was sketchy? What are you
That's
talking
what I
about?
mean. He was
No,
sketchy.
no, I don't like that Jeffrey Epstein guy. He's a
He
little bit
was a
sketchy, man.
he's a little sus, you know.
He was a sussy buck.
La, no, stop.
Anyways, let's talk about Casca, the victim of Griffith. Uh,
I
this is
think
gonna get
uh,
dark.
I think Casca is what Mikasa was like. Mikasa from Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
It's kind of like I saw some similarities.
Casca was way better.
She
Mikasa,
Casca
was,
was
yeah.
a housewife.
Eh,
yes, she was.
Well, she wasn't.
I
Well,
mean, Mikasa isn't a
Mikasa isn't a
housewife
housewife
either.
either.
Don't fall into that
Mikasa is
category.
a housewife. What are you talking about?
No, she isn't. Like, if by
She
housewife
gives
we're
off
talking,
housewife energy, like 100%.
she
Bro,
gives off domestic abuse victim
she
vibes.
is literally stronger than Eren. What do you mean a housewife? She can
Nah,
literally beat this dude.
nah.
Nah, but Casca is somewhat
Nah.
similar in that she really doesn't have any life goals to herself, and she's just following Griffith around.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when Griffith gets like disabled and stuff, she immediately, like everyone else, just follows like Guts.
So, Law, you were saying Casca has a lot of similarities to Mikasa as she doesn't really have any life goals and she just follows the main character and
Yeah,
when something happens to him she like crumbles and follows him.
yeah. I don't think she's that much different from Mikasa in terms of that,
I
but
think her
she's
life goal
written
was
much better.
basically to be like a warrior, to be stronger than like people who are able to take advantage of her.
For Griffith.
I mean, she is already that
But
way. She's already very
by like
strong.
joining Griffith's group, like she managed to find that.
You know what? That girl from Black Clover, the one with the stone golems, looks exactly like Casca.
I don't know who you're talking about.
She's in the flower group, in the flower
I don't
one.
know who that
She's
is.
the one that's always like Big Sis or Nissan.
Oh,
She
oh
looks
shit.
exactly like Casca.
Oh my god.
And she has a
Actually,
similar backstory where like she had to get saved by the leader, a blonde, a blonde pretty boy, pretty girl.
yeah.
And they're her benefactors, and now they follow them to the ends of the earth. So wow, I just realized that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Azumi, you were saying about Casca?
Oh no, I finished.
All
I
right.
think Casca is a great character. I think she's great, but she's not like the most mind blowing. I think the
Yeah,
reason why she's good The reason why she's good is because she opens up a lot of doors for Guts himself, but she isn't
What
that
do you
great of a
mean?
character him.
Do you mean when she gave him one of the most badass nicknames by just being there? Well, she caused him to get the most badass nickname because he was protecting her. The hundred
Yeah,
manslayer.
and
Jeez.
not only that though, uh, like this is a little bit after the eclipse, but I'm talk about it anyway. He has to choose. He has to choose between like feeding his hatred and rage and just going after Griffith, or sitting down to take care of his sick girlfriend, which is
Is she
a
his
tough
girlfriend at
decision.
that point? Like,
She
I
is. He
mean,
just doesn't know it because, like, you know,
sounds like a
he's
rapist
sick.
type of thing. What do you mean she doesn't know it? What
okay,
do
She's
okay,
you
sick.
no, no,
She's
what
it's
do you
sick.
because
mean?
Okay.
it's because like in the middle when Griffith got fucked, like he Guts was trying to Guts was trying to convince her to go with him, and then Griffith got fucked, and she's like, "Nah, I'm staying." And then the whole eclipse happened, and then Griffith did what he did. I feel
Are
at
we
that
gonna talk
moment
about that at all?
about what the rape scene.
The- Why do you have to say
You-
it like that?
Why do you say it, Ken?
Why
What
do
do
you
you
have to
mean? Why
say
do
it
I
like?
say it?
Why do you have to
Okay,
say it
guys,
like
the the Griffith oopsie scene.
the incident?
The incident.
Okay, no, I'll just go over it quickly. So after Griffith being a little bitch gets tortured, he loses everyone that follows him and being selfish and not realizing that, oh, I ended up causing everybody this misery. It's only smart for them to not want to follow me. He gets vengeance by essentially sacrificing them all to become a demon overlord. And it just doesn't, it isn't just that. He has to rub it into Guts in the worst way possible because at this point, Guts has already fallen in love with Casca and they've been together for quite some time. And so he does what Ken said. And the really sad part about it was seeing how Guts had to witness it and seeing him fight for it. Like his hand gets grabbed by someone, and instead of like just staying still or fighting them, he literally just cuts off his hand. He's rushing forward as these like spikes appear, like not spikes, like things were grabbing him and clawing at him. And instead of like flinching or moving back to dodge it, he walks through it, losing an eye in the process. Like I was really sad watching that or reading that. It was
It
It
depressing.
was a
is it is
really
depressing.
depressing scene.
Also, I wanted to talk about that actually, like that you brushed off it quickly, but you said that Griffith wanted to brush it into Guts, and
He
that is
wanted
one
to
of the
rub it in. Like
yeah.
yeah, I'm
Why
not
do you
just
wanna?
killing everyone you like, but I'm going to make you feel as humiliated as I was. That's what he wanted to do.
Yes, and that's because Guts is the only person in the whole band of the Hawk to make Griffith actually care about him. Like his
Because he
literal
wanted that.
Oh
his
my
l-
gosh.
his literal success.
No, no.
Wait,
Don't
Not
you don't
don't
only
think
talk.
he wanted it?
no,
I
no, what
mean,
the
he
fuck,
he
no,
obviously did, but
Okay.
like,
no, no. It's
whatever.
Okay.
Talk about.
because it's
Oh.
I personally think it's because his uh his personal success depended on it, and not only that,
His
I think
honor.
he no, not his honor. He never had any. I'm saying like I genuinely do think he saw Guts as this like big brother kind of figure, because remember that one time in when they were in the castle, and Griffith and Guts were walking, and Guts like puts his hand on Griffith's shoulder, and
I bet
Griffith like
Griffith
in
like that.
it lost stop. Uh, in the dungeon, Griffith was talking about how why why from like thousands of sacrifice and like used, why are you the one that comes to mind? and that is just so powerful to me. And he spent like a whole year, being tortured, and he's like, "Why the hell is Guts not here?" And once he's freed, you can notice how he is actually trying to choke Guts when he is like hugging him. I don't know if you noticed that.
No.
When he is like crippled and he's like just a pile of bones basically, he was trying to choke Guts, and he was fucking staring at him. I don't know if you noticed that panel. You
I
should
don't
look it
remember
up.
that.
You
I don't
should
know.
look it up.
Maybe he's just kinky.
Oh my god.
Also, can we talk about how fucking horrible the torture he went through was? Like, it was abhorrent.
I don't know. He
The
deserves it and way worse.
he does, but like the way that the creature or the guy who tortured him said it, it was just so heartbreaking. And like heartbreaking for Guts. I don't care about Griffith. Like it was super heartbreaking to see Guts like. Did you remember like when the dude was like, "This is a reinforced door. You can't get through it." And Guts Guts just picks up the sword and he
I
stabs
love
the
God.
door. He stabs the door and the guy with a single
Bro,
swing.
I want to talk about like if we're gonna end the podcast off with any topic, I want it to be on how badass Guts is,
Oh my
bro.
god.
Guts. If I can just talk about the dragon,
The
his
dragon.
sword is called the dragon. Everybody like in the lore, everybody was saying like, oh, it's called the dragon because it was used to slay a dragon, or it's a rumor to slay a dragon. And then
It's
when he
not.
talks to the guy who
No,
made
it
it,
was.
and he's like, no, it was named that because only a dragon could wield it. Like because
No,
it's
no,
so heavy, only a
It's,
dragon would be able
no,
to
no, no,
wield it.
no, no, no. If you want it verbatim, it was because no human hand could wield it. If you want it
Oh,
like
okay,
accurate.
yeah.
okay. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass.
Also, La, I wanted to remind you is I wanted to remind you of another criticism that you had. We've talked about this before. You were one of your negative parts or like criticisms, I guess you could say, about Berserk is how the Skull Knight always comes in to save
Oh
Guts.
yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
he, it always felt so annoying that when I was reading it and like Guts is in a precarious situation and you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen? What's Guts gonna do? Is he gonna do Super Saiyan 3? And then no, the Skull Knight comes out of nowhere and saves him. And it's like, damn. Like I wish just anywhere else it would have been alluded to. Like even if like let's say in the beginning of the chapter it showed the Skull Knight like somewhere nearby or like trying to find him or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the first time when the Skull Knight saves him from the eclipse, that's like the only time where I was like, okay, I can understand why they didn't want to show this before because it would spoil stuff about the eclipse and it would spoil stuff about the supernatural things that are in the show. However, every other time, it just felt like a repeat.
I just like I don't mind the Skull Knight. I think he's a good character. I just think that
he didn't bother me either.
what?
He didn't bother me either.
He
Yeah,
himself didn't bother me. Just how he was used as a
he
Deus Ex Machina every single time was annoying.
I get what Law is trying to say. I kind of also agree with it, but for a different reason. I agree with it because like what initially made me fall in love with Berserk is uh the eclipse. Like you could see actual shit going on, and there's no like it just happened. Like there's no super power that's gonna emerge from Guts's like Super Saiyan ancient clan technique or anything like that. It's just he just loses. He literally just loses.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing I've not seen in Berserk since, because every time he's in a situation, the Skull Knights comes in, and I would appreciate Berserk more if there was more scenes of like Guts going through something that fucking traumatizes him, and like he's like, what the fuck?
Didn't he
You
go
want him
through
to be
enough?
traumatized?
Didn't he go through enough?
Bro, your sadism is
No, no,
showing.
no. This isn't criticism. Like this is just one of the
I
things like
said
I noticed. But
sadism.
No, this is not sadism. Come on. I just want to
No.
see him.
First, you're explaining Griffith so perfectly as if
Oh
you
my
were the
god.
same as him, and now this. Oh my
All right,
god.
guys. That was
No,
that
no, no.
was the
I agree.
episode
I
about
agree.
Berserk.
No, no. I understand what you're saying. Like, if we're being real for a second, I completely understand, and I can appreciate that you want the same thing to happen because I would want it to happen. I love it when a main character loses because the development they get after that is so important. Like
Yeah,
Luffy losing everybody at Sabaody, bro,
that was
that
powerful.
shit
That was
was, yeah,
powerful.
it was extremely powerful. And then it made like it just Oda is a great writer. I'll just leave it
We're talking about Miura right now.
at that. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, have
to
some
be fair
respect on
though,
his grave, Law.
to be fair though, like what Azumi said or what you both said, like he suffered enough. I think that's also an important thing that kind of pardons that kind of I'll just say writing flaw when it's not really that much of a flaw.
No,
But
no. I was joking. I agree with you actually. I would appreciate if there were scenes where characters were to lose or to win in a way where they lose. Like I think the phrase is a Pyrrhic victory.
yeah, but at the same time, it gives us some fucking badass gut scenes. So you know what? I'm not complaining.
I think it's Pyrrhic or Pyrrhic, something like that. Anyways, do you want a history lesson on it?
Sure.
Okay. So it was based off of a I think a Greek king or something like that who I think King Pyrrhus or something like that is when he had this battle in a war where he exhausted almost all of his like troops and resources, but he won. And he had this phrase that said, "One more victory like this, and we're going to lose the war." So
Damn, that's
that's a
actually pretty
Pyrrhic
cool.
victory.
That phrase is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's your history lesson for today. Is there anything else we want to talk about for Berserk?
No, I'm pretty
No,
happy. I
Okay,
love
I'm good
Berserk.
too.
It's so cool.
it is a
I
cool
love
manga.
Disney.
I would recommend it to anybody who isn't like bothered by those things too easily. Like I don't think most children
Oh,
should be
yeah. I
watching
think
it.
I
For
think
people
like
who like
this
seinen,
disclaimer. This manga is absolutely fucked. It's actually fucked. So you should not read it if you're.
we should have given that like in the beginning of the podcast.
It's okay. It's okay.
All
Like this
right.
manga is fucked.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We can end it off here. It was nice having you guys. Closing it off. Take care, everyone. Arrivederci.
Oh, do do do.
Do, do,
Sarabada.
do.